How much do you charge for a website? Is it $500? Is it $1,000? Is it $2,000? Do you struggle in getting your web design prices up where they need to be? Well, in my opinion, in this climate of the economy, global and local, I think the mark that everybody should be at least hitting is $10,000 when you're selling your websites. Now that might seem like a lot to some people, but stay tuned because I'm gonna share with you a bunch of tips and tricks on how to increase your rates and sell websites for at least $10,000. Quick caveat before we dive into all these tips and tricks for selling websites at the 10K mark is the obvious elephant in the room, and that is you need to be able to do quality work. Nothing I'm about to tell you is going to work at all unless you are capable of providing beautiful quality website design. If you could do that, we're gonna move into the tips and tricks. But if you don't know how to build gorgeous and problem-solving websites, then you need to go back to the basics, make sure that you are building a portfolio that showcases that you're able to do quality work. All right, moving on from that caveat, tip number one for those of you that do quality work but don't know how to sell that quality work at the 10K mark is you need to sell solutions, not just designs. Here's the truth, nobody wants to buy a web design because web design is worth absolutely nothing unless that web design solves a problem, and for most clients, that problem is increasing their business, whether that's revenue or leads online or traffic or likes or whatever it is, there's some sort of problem. And web design by itself is subjective and therefore could be worth $0. So the question that you're actually trying to solve is not how beautiful does this website need to be, but instead, what's the best way for me to solve this problem? There's a lot of ugly websites out there that could be selling for $10,000 because they're effective. Now, if you can mix effective and problem solving with beautiful, you got yourself a business. But if you had to take away beautiful and just be effective, that would still be okay. So ask yourself this, do you know how to solve problems? What type of problems do you know how to solve, and how do you then translate that in web design? Because if all you're trying to sell is a beautiful website to build up your portfolio, to show the world how pretty you can make things, that's worth nothing to your clients. Problem solve first. Focus on the solutions to those problems. You're selling solutions to already established problems, not pretty stuff. The next tip actually comes on the heels of that previous tip, and that is that you need to be selling benefits and not features. Again, clients don't care about features. Responsive web design or a CMS or a blog or e-commerce or whatever it is, they actually don't care. What they care about is the benefit that that feature will actually bring to them and their business. And so if I was to set up a website like this inside of Wix Studio, I was gonna add maybe some e-commerce and a CMS so we could have a blog. The way that I present this and sell this to my client is not to say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Client, I've gone ahead and set up a CMS and some e-commerce setup in the back end of Wix Studio for you. They don't care. A better way to present this is through the benefits they will receive from those features. So it might sound something like this. Hey client, we set up a blog and an e-commerce setup inside of Wix Studio, the platform that's running for you. And here's what that's gonna do for you. Blogging more regularly is gonna increase the amount of content for you. It's gonna increase your SEO. It's gonna bring in more leads to your website. And once they're there, we're gonna capture them through the e-commerce platform. They don't have to go anywhere else. They can check out right there inside the platform on the website. You're gonna have more traffic, more conversions, and more sales because of everything that we're building here. Now that is amazing to a client. That's how you sell higher price tiered websites, by focusing on benefits, not on features. Another tip to selling high priced websites at least that $10,000 mark is to make sure that you're listening to the client and empathizing with their pain points. As web designers, we're quite often in the back of our minds thinking about features or the process or the way that we're gonna build the website. We're deciding what type of platform we're gonna use. Is it no code like on Wix Studio, or what are we gonna do? Well, all of that stuff is fine and dandy, but all of those things have to be in conjunction with the actual problem that our client is actually having. So you need to learn how to be a better diagnostic technician. Ask more diagnostic questions about the problem and understand that what's important to them may not seem important to you, but if it's important to them, that's why they're coming to you. So we have to have that bedside manner, that good way of approaching and addressing their problems, but we can't address the problems until we diagnose them and that takes empathy, an open ear, active listening, and care and concern for our clients. You do that, and it's gonna up your prices very, very quickly. The next tip for selling higher priced websites is to make sure that you drop the jargon and speak your client's language instead. Clients care about how this website is gonna help them make more money in their business or bring more attention to them online. They don't care about the buzzwords of AI and responsive and which platform you're gonna use. All of that stuff doesn't matter. So make sure you drop all the jargon, the industry language, and just cater to your client's needs. So don't say things like, you can inject custom code into this Wix Studio project via HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But do say things like, if you have a developer, they're able to work on this website to add anything custom that you'd like. One of them is very features-based and buzzwordy, and the other one caters to the client's needs. So learn how to speak their language, and you'll be able to sell websites for way more. Last tip of the day to selling higher priced websites is to master the tools and your process so that you get better with those tools. You get more efficient and faster at designing with those tools. And so if you design inside of Figma, don't be jumping around to all sorts of other platforms to try and experiment. Just get really good there. If you want to bring those designs into some sort of platform like Wix Studio, just continue to use Wix Studio, which is actually why it's so great. You can continue to build reusable templates and sections, reuse those across different projects for different clients, manage everything, host everything, e-commerce, social media, SEO, all of it can take place in one platform. So I recommend that you minimize the amount of tools and platforms you use, consolidate them, and get way better at them so that you speed up, become more efficient, more productive, therefore increasing your rates by minimizing the struggle of all the work that you have to do to learn new platforms every single time. Stop reinventing the wheel, stick to the platforms that you know, and keep working with them to get better and make you more money. That's it. And I know those tips sound very, very simple, but again, if you already do quality work, but you're struggling to increase your rates and hit that $10,000 website mark, it's less about the work and it's more about your messaging, your positioning, your approach to solving problems for your client. If you introduce these tips into your workflow and the way that you work with your clients, you're gonna see your rates steadily move up. Adopt all of these, put them into your process, double your current rates, and keep doubling them until you hit that $10,000 mark at least. Hope these work out for you. Let me know if they do or don't down in the comments. What am I missing? I would love to have that conversation. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about web design and the business of web design. So make sure you stick around by ringing the bell so you know when more videos like this one come out. And if you want to watch more content right now, check out this video or that video, and I'll see you later.